Hey, it's Randy from Happy Maple Nursery again. So we're just working on some of these field-grown larches. These were grown for about, I think, 5 years in the field, and then we dug them last spring, and we just let them grow all year. So the second one that we have, we got another video with the first one that we'll get out. And I've been staring at this one, drinking a cup of coffee, trying to figure out what to do with it. So I think my best front is here. This one's a little more compact than the last one that we just did, and so but they're, the branches are a little tighter to the main trunk, so we got more options in developing this like a classical conifer as opposed to something that's a little taller and longer, and I think we're going to keep this one shorter because of that. And so I'll just grab the camera here, and so let you take a peek at what's going on. So we got this large side shoot coming off, and then we have our main trunk kind of going up all the way to what will be an apex in here. And so this is probably our best option. We got lots of nice movement. Branches are pretty tight. I see some buds in there that we can work with. But there are a few nice options for this tree. So pretty excited to be able to work on this. And so we're just going to make some choices, hopefully leaving us some options. But here it goes. This large branch that I just pointed out there, I'm going to cut down and do a gin. It's right in the way. There it goes. That was an easy choice just because it is so big. Doesn't really match. You could have maybe done 2 apexes, like a mother-daughter type design, but I opted not to. So you've got a large branch here with not a lot of budding. So the problem is when these get really dense is that they lose the buds in close, which is a problem. So what I'm going to do is just trim any small pieces of deadwood that I know I can't do anything with, just so I know what's an option and what's not. That'll be our next task. Just go through, trim out any deadwood, and see what we got to work with. So as I'm working around the tree, I did notice that I've got this branch kind of cutting across here. It is dead, so I'm just going to cut that off. Yeah, it's totally dead. And cut that off tight to the trunk. So I'm just going to remove this little nub here. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. And that should scar over, no problem. Okay, so just working again in the interior of the tree, removing any dead wood. Actually, conveniently, if we make this our front, we also get to work with what looks like a big region that died back, so that's not so bad. Just put a notch there so I don't lose track of what I am considering in front. Okay, so that's a little bit of the deadwood gone. So we can kind of see what's going on. I'm still quite happy with that front left. A little bit of ginning to do there, which will be kind of nice. And then we've got a lot of this deadwood here that we'll ultimately remove. So as I look at the tree, this is going to be my front. This is a problem. I'm going to go ahead and remove that. And I've got a little bud here at the back, which is kind of nice. So if I do want to regrow a branch, I can. I think that this branch here, just above it, which is all this, is not going to be useful to me, because it's pretty far on the main trunk. Earliest bud I see is out over here, but I do have a bud just above that and behind it. So between this bud and that bud, I think I've got some options, but I don't want to remove this just yet. Okay, just cleaning up any deadwood. Areas that are obviously gone, we want to be very careful right now because there are only a few buds in tight to work with. So we've got to be really careful what we cut off. We don't cut off anything that is alive that could help us. So this, I did scratch, it is alive, so I don't see any active buds on it though. This is dead. So keep that. This is odd here, we've got a bit of a cross. These two branches. Little bit of a bud there that might be hard for you to see. That's really good. So next we got to start deciding where our first branch will start. And so I don't think I need this. So I'm going to take this off. There's only a few buds that were really far out. It's not much use to us. Take this off, those are dead. Pretty obvious we don't need those. I'm going to take this off too. I don't think I need this. Too low. Doesn't fit with our composition. We have a first branch here and a second branch here. Might not be too bad. Although I think this is again a problem. So I'm going to cut this off. What we're doing is just process of elimination of what fits, what doesn't. This has a tiny little bud there that we could attempt to use. Not a lot going on. And that would take us a while to grow that back, but we will keep it just for now. Just going to short this and this. Since those are kind of low, we know we don't want them too long. This is a little odd. I don't think we're going to need all that, so I'm going to take that off. I do have a nice branch in here that I could look to use. Got some nice tight buds. It's on the inside of the curve though. The preference would be to get some stuff up here. We have a lot of big thick branches here, so we got to make a choice there and over here. We go one. 2. Yeah, we're gonna take this one out. I'll let you in that. The reason I chose that is because I have lots of thin branches in here that I can use much better. So because of that, we'll take this back just so we can visually deal with that. Back. Deadwood. Be really careful. There's little tiny buds in here that we want to keep. Okay. Yeah, there's some really tiny buds in here, so we just want to be really careful because those might be coming back. We may need them. So I think if we look at our main line, curves up and out. They're really thick branches here. We got some small buds in there, so that's good. don't think we need this. It's right. A little awkward, it goes up. Not really what we want. And because we're so close to the trunk, we can encourage that to start over without much problem. I'm just trying to decide what to do up in here. This looks dead. Dead. Going the wrong direction. That looks dead. Going the wrong direction. That looks dead. So I almost have two competing apexes. So I think we're going to gin the closest one and take the back one maybe. And then if I were to take this, push the tree forward a bit, kind of get in this shape. So I don't know if we need this. Probably use this branch. There's a few pieces of deadwood up here that I'm just going to clean up so I can visually see what's going on in here. Well, there's a little tiny bud beside that, which we may want to keep. Okay, so I'm just going to take a second here. Got one branch here. Probably need something on this side. So it's either this big thick one, which is kind of out of place, although we have some options. With this branch here. This, it's growing in the wrong direction. Okay, so now we're at a point where we gotta make some choices. And so we're just gonna take a second and think about this and try to come up with a battle plan. You don't want to cut anything that you'll regret, because larches don't backbud on old wood, so you gotta keep these buds. Okay, so we're gonna take this one off. Kind of lift up this area a bit. Really interesting branch. So we got 1, 2, 3. Keep one in the back maybe. We could even keep this for now. Drop that into a pad. We gotta shorten this a bit. Pretty long, straight branch. You may have to rely on some of these buds to grow out here. It's got potential here or here, so I could go 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's go at the back branch. I think I can reliably get rid of this. And any of that in the back. Low. Don't think I need this. Got a replacement branch here if I need it, and another bud there. So maybe I'll reuse this because I want to go kind of a low branch though. So I'm not sure this will stay. This would be a nice branch. This would be a pleasing branch. We're gonna have to regrow some of it. This looks like it's too much, so I'm gonna reduce it. So we're back. We did a little bit of trimming after we lost our camera, and so we actually switched the front to this. So what we're going to do is continue to work this branch around We're going to wire some branches into position, and that'll probably be it. We've left a lot of low sacrifice branches, and then we left ourselves lots of options in here to regrow smaller branches if we want in the future. And also the top, we're going to do a bit of trimming, maybe some light wiring, and then we got some gin work kind of throughout to do. So I'm not going to show you all of that, but what I am going to do is just do some wires. So we're going to wire this. This will be our first branch. Second branch will be maybe in here. Third branch here. Fourth branch here. And then these will all be gone at some point. So we're going to need a fairly thick gauge wire. Pretty tight, so we're going to have to watch for biting. Although this is a larch, so they really heal quite nicely. They are so vigorous, so not too good. Just trying to respect our lower buds. I actually have to put another piece of wire on that just to hold it. It's kind of what we're working with. We do have some small buds here, so maybe in the future we will try to replace that branch. So yeah, next we'll wire is this one back here, kind of down. And we'll probably wire this branch with this branch together. We may need a double coil for this. So we tried to open that up. Probably need to come back and trim a little bit. Taking the tips out, any groups of threes. So we're just looking to build some branch density here. Same here, we gotta wire these probably. And this is a little wild. I don't know if we can flip that. No. Take that right out of there. So I think we want to wire this flat. Wire this back. Again, a little hard to see because we've got a lot going on here that we will remove in the future. I think this should be wired down too. And perhaps this back branch can be wired in turns. It's going to be our back piece. Maybe move this over. So maybe we'll wire these two top branches together. So we'll just start trimming this up to create the pads. So ignoring again kind of what's going on here in the front of the tree and just trying to focus on some of the upper branches and trying to place our branches for the future. Get rid of some of these upward facing branches here. Chin some of these back. Get some more ramification. You can see there's a cut done right here, which kind of sends off all these branches. So we're not gonna touch that. I'm not really sure what to do with all that just yet. Deadwood. Could rotate this around. So in terms of the top, we want to gin this piece in the back. A branch here that might be useful. This one might be useful. This could come over here. I think can be useful. Not sure about that. I think this is a little high. We maybe want to send our leader off in another direction. Back this way. So maybe at some point this branch will become the leader. And so to do that, we need to trim some of these. So we will get this branch in the back that can be pulled down. Got some nice young branches in here, some little buds, so we probably regrow that branch. Don't really need it. And I think we're gonna make some hard calls here. Get rid of this one. Get rid of this bud. Don't need that. I think we need to start wiring some of this. I think this needs to be wired down. This. So we're just going to continue with wiring some of these things and wire everything pretty much. And see where we land. Gauge wire is too thick for this bottom branch, so I'm going to put it out over here, this other branch. Trying not to smash many buds. So trying to decide what to do right here. We bring this down, fold this over as our top. Don't know if we need this big piece in the back. Got this to come over here. We need a bit of that. It'll be quite hard to move though. And then we've got this branch right here, which was cut, and it's got almost like a spiral coming off it. Maybe we'll just shorten these. I'm gonna leave it. So maybe we'll take that piece that we don't really need. It really opens up the front of the tree too, which is kind of nice. So we see our main line goes up here, goes over like this, and then we want to send it back. Gotta force this down, so we still got some fine wiring to do, which I think we'll have to wait. Run out of daylight here, so we'll pick this up again later. So we got to address something here. I think ultimately this has got to come off, but that will have a clear leader, so I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Yeah, I think we want to select this. So we'll let this, I think, kind of chill. Maybe we'll bend some of these down when we do come back to this. Try to wire some of these down. This needs to be wired down, and then we'll have a decent shape. We've got too many branches in here, but that's okay. More wiring to do here. Try to fill this out. And maybe even try to pull this down a bit. I've got lots of little buds in here, so that's pretty much it for our tree for now. I'll show you the final product after we've done all the wiring. Alright, so we did some more wiring, and here's what we ended up with. We've got this large branch here, which I think we're going to leave. We've got lots of small buds here starting, which are great. We might replace it. This may also be taken off in the future as this thing develops. We're not sure. We got most of our branches going down. We got a few little guys that we haven't touched. Got this branch over here kind of filling this gap. This branch will probably come off, and so will this one, with our apex being up here. We've left some gins for now. Got some low buds here that we'll leave just to kind of give us some options in the future and see how things go. But this is basically how our second field grown larch turned out. This is done with the Ottawa Bonsai Society. One of the members there grew it, so we're quite thankful to have the opportunity to get to play with this tree. And so it's been a lot of fun. So hopefully you enjoy this. Let us know what you think in the comments. Things I could have done different. You know, there's lots of options. It's kind of overwhelming. So this is a really good approach that we kind of talked through on how to keep them simple. You know, start from the bottom up, remove deadwood, think about where your branches are going to go in your pads, and then kind of work from there. This is a larch, so our goal is to try to give it that, you know, weighted down snow look. And I think we've got it. We're just going to feed this guy and let it grow and start to build some ramification. And then we'll come back and maybe carve some of these a little more, some of these gins and some shari in the future as this thing grows. So I had a lot of fun doing this one, and I hope you enjoyed this video. All right, take care. Bye.